Hello guys and welcome to Crazy Burger. So in this video I'm going to be looking at the Capcom Collection and more specifically the issues surrounding the fact there's not going to be a cart. Obviously there's a lot of people unhappy about this, and in this video I'm going to discuss some of the things that people have brought up and go through some of the details. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, so there's no doubt that getting Capcom on the Evercade, albeit on the EXP only, is absolutely fantastic. We're getting 18 titles, absolutely brilliant games, included for free, well, supposedly for free. I'm pretty sure the cost is included within the XP. I mean, it is $129.99, which is double the price of the original Evercade that was released 2 years ago. But it is great, no doubt. Capcom is a massive, massive game. But like everyone is probably a little bit annoyed the fact that we are not getting a physical cart, because Evercade are all about physicality and getting all those carts. That's what's probably brought a lot of people on board in the first place. And not having a cart is going to annoy a lot of people. There's no getting away from that, because that's why people bought on board to the Evercade. However, there's nothing that they can do about that at the moment. This isn't really Blaze's fault. It's more or less an issue with Capcom. They don't really want a cart, they only want to provide it in digital form, and if that's what it is, fine. It's great that we're getting it nonetheless. So Blaze obviously had a decision to make. Do they go against what their initial wishes of having physical carts, or do they get a big name on board? I think they made the right decision, because there's no doubt having this Capcom 18 titles on your EXP all built in is very attractive to get a lot of people to buy an EXP and get a lot more people on board. But if you really don't have the cash, and this is where the big issues come from, what if you don't want to get an EXP? What if you can't afford to actually upgrade? That is a massive problem. Not everyone can afford to actually buy an EXP. It's £120. We're approaching Christmas. Not everyone has disposable cash. So some people will have difficult choices to make, and the other thing is, it's probably not fair to expect people to only after 2 years to buy another handheld, because obviously we had the white one, the original one. We also had the black at the time, so if you've been all on board and bought everything, it's probably cost you a lot of money. And obviously after the black one, we got a purple version last year, which was really nice. It was a little bit of a better quality screen, but it was more or less the same handheld. And if you've obviously bought that, that's more expensive. And then there was the Evercade VS last year as well. More expensive. Really, you're obviously hoping that everyone's buying into that, or you're only going handheld route. I don't know, but it's a lot of money to expect, and now 2 years down the line, you're expecting people to buy another handheld. Okay, we've been crying out. The original, the screen is pretty awful. It's a nice handheld apart from that, and this new handheld definitely looks really nice. It's got a lot of nice features to it. It's probably a lot more modern looking, which maybe goes against the whole retro nature of the thing, but that's a different story. But yeah, obviously it's got built-in Wi-Fi, so it has a lot of perks to it that the original doesn't have. But you're still expecting people to buy an EXP. If you want to play those Capcom games, it's the only way you're going to do it at this present time. Will they release a cart further down the line? I really don't think they will. I don't think Capcom are going to allow that. Will we be able to play them on the VS? Again, not entirely sure. Maybe they'll find a way. Will we be able to link it up somehow? I don't know. Will we be able to play two-player games? Because obviously there's a lot of two-player games on that Capcom collection. That, well, obviously on the handheld you can't play two-player games. There might be a way around it, I guess. I don't really know. Will they be able to have some sort of solution on that as well? I don't know. But anyway, back to the sort of cart scenario, which is really unfortunate. Obviously, the whole point of Evercade was carts. That's why everyone's on board. Not having that in cart really doesn't sit right with a lot of people. Personally, I don't actually care, because I'm not really into collecting physical stuff. Collected DVDs and have thousands of them over the years. I've got to the point I have no room to put stuff. And collecting physical stuff is just not the thing for me, but obviously a lot of people love collecting physical stuff, and that's absolutely fine. And this is where the problem lies. Those that love that physical nature, having the cart is what people want, and unfortunately they're not going to get that with Capcom Collection, so that is not ideal. Now the other thing is, will we see this as a trend going forward? Obviously at the moment we already have things like secret games that are obviously downloaded digitally to your firmware updates. We also have the Game of the Month feature, which has been delivered digitally to your VS. So in a way we've already been getting digital formatted games. And you kind of wonder, is this going to be a trend that we'll continually see till eventually you get some kind of online store? I'm not sure we'll get this full online store facility, to be honest, but it's possible we'll have other games like that will get downloaded. You might have a choice. I don't know. Maybe they'll continue doing the Game of the Month. Maybe they'll give you a sneak preview of games coming up in that way. I do not know. But the other thing I was thinking of is, what if other big publishers come on board, such as Sega or Konami, and they pretty much go along the same lines as Capcom? They don't want to give us a cart, but they will give it in digital form. How do you deal with that? The fact that we've got Wi-Fi on the XP, and obviously you've got the VS, will they deliver it in digital form via that? Or will they just say no? It's really a bit of a mystery. Obviously, they've done this one-off deal with Capcom, but there's possibility it could be a trending thing. I don't really know it will be. I don't think that's their intentions, to be honest, but as Sean probably says himself from Blaze, never say never. You just don't know. A couple of years ago, you probably wouldn't have thought you'd had Capcom in any way, shape or form on the Evercade. I certainly had doubts. We all wished for it, and here we have it. Personally, I'm just really glad that we have Capcom in one way, shape or another. It's just a bit of a shame that you probably expect people to buy an EXP to play it, and you're not going to have a cart to play it in anything else. So it's not ideal. I'm kind of on the fence with it myself. I see the issues with the people that are really a bit upset about it, and I understand it, totally understand it. But it is what it is, and there's nothing we can do about it. We just have to, if you want to get on board, get the EXP. If you don't, you just don't buy it. There are other ways to play the Capcom games. You can get them on Xbox, PlayStation, you get them on the Nintendo Switch, you can probably get them on an emulation device of some sorts out there. So there are other ways to play it. It's not the end of the world. Not the greatest news, but at the end of the day, we're getting Capcom, we're getting a big name on the EXP, and if you're getting one, it's going to be fantastic. Guys, thanks for watching our video today. Please like, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Drop me some comments. Tell me what you think. Bye, guys.